All right, you beautiful people. It has been a long time since we've been live on the Dynasty channel. However, we have quite a few teams that we need to review. Thus, we are here and going to be reviewing your Dynasty teams, giving you some directions moving forward with the playbook. Appreciate y'all so much for being here. If you are confused why we haven't been active on YouTube, well, let me tell you, we actually have been active. It's just that we are on the other channel. Okay, so if you don't know, now you know. The Fantasyland Football channel is where we are spending most of our time right now in season. We'll still drop some Dynasty content. I'm aiming to do one video per month. And then, obviously, as we all know, when it gets to December, we're going to start talking about them rookies again. So, appreciate y'all for being here with us. We are going to jump into some team playbooks. Again, if you want your team playbook, you can check out the link in the pinned comment. Let us know who we're hanging out with here in the chat. But this is just strictly a business stream, Badaki. Let's jump straight in here. Prime time.
Straight business.
We tried to wait. Oh, that's a redraft team from prime time. Okay. It says redraft there. Did you see that? Okay, so we'll go to Matty Low here first. Matty Low will be first.
Okay, Matty Low.
And yeah, Badaki, take us away whenever. What's up, Falto? What's up, Wheaties in the building?
What's happening, y'all? What's happening? Appreciate you guys being here. Matty Low. You know the deal. I'm pretty sure you got a team view with us before, but you should be receiving your playbook here within 24 to 48 hours on the Flock Fantasy site. Actually, 48 to 72 hours because obviously how busy we are, but we appreciate you. Thank you so much for the support. Let's get straight into everything that we need to know regarding context of your Dynasty team here. He says, by the way, 2 quarterback, 10 team, start 10.
Okay.
That is our classic middle grounds here, especially in a smaller league. Specifically in a start 10. He says, I was in last place 2 years ago. This past year, I went to the ship thanks to your advice. That's awesome. Took second place, but was pleased with my progress. Wondering if you had any advice on how to continue to stay competitive. There are 3 dominant teams and the rest seem very imbalanced. Love y'all, land baby. Hey, we appreciate you. Thank you so much. Your team name is Caleb to the Moon.
Currently ranked second in my rankings as well, so that's pretty good.
Okay, 2nd out of 10 here. And let's have a look at this team. At the quarterback position, Josh Allen, Caleb Williams, Trevor Lawrence. It's a great quarterback, especially having that QB3. Walker, Harvey, Chuba, Scadaboo, Trey, JCM, Bill, Isaac Guerrero. Another great, not great, but high upside players here, especially with Trey, RJ, guys that we really like. Chuba Hubbard getting that contract extension, and Billy there as well. At the wide receiver position, you can start up to 5 wide receivers. Here's your starting 5. Thomas, London, JSN, Richie Rich, T. Higgins, AJ Brown. Phenomenal wide receiver room with Brandon Ayuk there in the wings. Obviously, we just got news that Rashee Rice is suspended for 6 games. You won't have him for the first half of the season. With Trey McBride and Tucker Kraft, with all your picks in 2026 and 2027 here. Not wasting any time, going straight into some untouchables. Of course, we're going to have Josh Allen. Of course, we're going to have Brian Thomas Jr. And I would say that's about it. It's not a tight end premium there, so we're just going to say those 2 guys. At the hold position, guys like Trey Benson, we're going to continue to hold. Guys like JCM, we're going to continue to hold. Who else? Kyle Pitts, there's no reason to do anything with him yet. And let's do a wide receiver here.
Tesla.
Obviously, Isaac Tesla.
Isaac Tesla for sure.
Could be taking J-Mo's job here. Don't say that to Zach, though. And easy drops.
You're not going to worry me about saying that. Go ahead.
Easy drops, I would say Rico Dowdle. And honestly, that's about it. All these other guys, there's really no reason to drop, I would say. We can just hold and wait to see what's going to happen in season, but that's kind of all of the admin so far right
Team's
now.
in a great spot. I mean, your starting lineup is probably Josh Allen and one of Caleb or Trevor. Then Ken Walker and Chuba to start. Brian Thomas, Drake London, Trey McBride. That is 7. You can start 10. JSN is 9. Higgins is our 8, 9, 10. You have Harvey that you could put on the bench and rotate in the running back room. JCM might get involved when Rice is back. So your team is pretty complete. I don't really see a true need for a team like this, if I'm being 100% honest with you. But let's have a look at your draft. I gave you a B- draft grade. I thought you had a fine draft, but, you know, it's not like this draft is completely changing your team. It's definitely helping, like getting RJ Harvey and a lot of these running backs and some, you know, dart throw wide receivers is great. But I'm not going to say this is like a generational change for your Dynasty football team. But I do like it. I like it a lot. Overall team grade, I will put this probably at an either A flat or A minus, and this is definitely a contender.
Yeah, I completely agree. Definitely a contender, A flat. Completely agree with you there.
All right. As far as trade ideas, man, there's really not a player in particular I feel like you need to trade. If anything, I think you have the depth to get off of A.J. Brown this year, so we can explore that. Again, not that I'm expecting a bad year for A.J. Brown or anything. It's the same thing we've been saying about Tyreek Hill the last couple of years. Doesn't matter how good he is. When he gets older, people won't value him the same anymore. You know, it's just age comes for every man, and people know that in Dynasty, so they start to value him less and less and less. So I'd love to go from a A.J. Brown to, you know, another option that's younger if possible. So if we look at my rankings, for example, I'd love to go from A.J. Brown, if we can, to a T-Mac, to a Hunter, to an Adunze. Some of those deals you'll be able to get more than those names, but if you can go ahead and swap them straight to a Tet McMillan, I'm totally happy with that. A Travis Hunter, I'm happy with that. If you can get a Roma Dunze plus in like some sort of 2-for-2, what was the other name that we said there? I think those were the main names. Garrett Wilson, even at this point. Emeka Egbuka, it's probably going to be tough to get a plus on Egbuka, but I'd be willing to look at that. And straight up, we already have Rashee Rice. I was going to say Rashee Rice. What about Garrett Wilson? I'll probably do a straight for Garrett Wilson too. That might be more difficult than those other ones, but this is like trying to pivot to keep you in the competitive zone. Whoever has a Dunze, let's have a look at their team real quickly. This is what's... Oh, okay, the search feature's back, which is great. So Dunze is on the last team. He also has Hunter. I wonder if you could get like a Dunze... Man, there's not much on this team, is there? Let's just say a Dunze in a second for A.J. Brown in a third or something, you know?
Yeah, a pick swap, that should be fine.
I would say the same thing for A.J. Brown and the Egbuka deal as well. But genuinely, like right now, I don't think you should be making any drastic moves. I don't see a reason, because your depth is so strong, to go out there and sell your picks. But the only other thing I would suggest is if you wanted to tier up, and I don't really want to trade any of your running backs. I was going to say like we could tier up from a Harvey, Hubbard. Man, I don't want to do that. But let's just say hypothetically you use Ken Walker in your 26 first, right? Can you go out and, you know, get... Let's have a look at some options here in my rankings. Like in order to tier up, could we get a Henderson? You know, a Travion Henderson. Maybe you could get Henderson in a second or a third. I think Henderson's going to be really hard to acquire right now, so you might only be able to get him straight up, which is why, again, I'm suggesting you probably hold right now. It's a tough time to sell Ken Walker. Would you do like a Bucky Irving in a second? Same thing. Same idea there, maybe.
Yeah.
But I think for the most part, I would be suggesting a hold. And I love the team. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a free trade question voucher. If the season comes and, you know, you've got more questions, we'd love to help. But right now, I think the best thing for this team in particular is to hold, because you've already done a great job with this squad.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you, Matty. Thank you so much for the support. Once again, you should be receiving your playbook here within 48 to 72 hours on the Flock Fantasy Message System, customized to everything that we drew up here for you today. Thank you so much for the support, Matty.
Absolutely. And what's up, WG? Didn't forget your clocks. We just went live earlier because we're going live on both channels today. So we'll be live on the Fantasyland Football channel here in like an hour and 15 minutes or so, or whatever it ends up being. So nope, your clocks are all right. We just ended up doing 2 streams today because we're backed up on the Dynasty reviews. What's up, Dynasty? Do welcome in. Appreciate y'all for being here. Vinegar Strokes is up next here. What's up, Michael?
Sometimes 2, 3, 4. You gotta stroke it. All right.
Okay. Yeah.
Here we go. Vinegar Strokes, appreciate you. This is a 1 quarterback 10 team start 8, so that's our meat and potatoes.
Small
there.
league, very small league.
It definitely is a small league, so we want to prioritize some of those single what's it called? Those onesie positions.
Yeah.
Anyways, he says took over this team before the 2025 draft, looking for advice in getting out of the middle. Traded away Caleb for Nix and Ingram. I think that's a great trade, especially in 1 quarterback. I think that's a huge tier up personally. Traded Stevenson, Brian Robinson for Charbonnet in a second. I don't mind that trade, especially now that Brian Robinson is no longer the starter there.
Oh my God, you just destroyed that trade.
Yeah, then drafted Genty, but traded him for Henderson and Walker.
Okay. I'm not obsessed given your format. Obsessed, I would not have done that. The Walker one. Yeah, 1 quarterback, start 8, 10 team. I want as many premium names. I probably wouldn't have done that, but
yeah, I wonder who your RB2 was before this. That's probably why you traded Genty to get 2 starting running backs in your eyes.
But he had so many wide receivers to play around with, and I don't know. It's all right.
It's okay. Let's have a look at this team here. Remember, 1 quarterback. Bo Nix, Baker Mayfield, a plethora of quarterbacks there. Love that quarterback room. At the running back position, Travion Henderson, Kenneth Walker, Trey Benson, Zach Charbonnet, Isaiah Pacheco. I mean, you did have a lot of running backs. You could have just kept, if this was a team, you could have just kept Ashton Genty. At the wide receiver position, only a start 8. Keep in mind, you have a lot of wide receivers. Malik, Jamo, DK, Addison, George, Ricky, Coleman. The list goes on there with Colston Loveland and Evan Ingram. That looks like you have all your first in 26 and in 27. Going straight to some.
The team looks good. I just want to quickly say, but it is a 10-man, so we have to look at it differently, right?
Sure.
It's not like in a 12 team. This would be great. In a 10-man, it's all right. I would probably put it like a B+, like good team, but it's not like a superstar squad all the way across the board. Although it is very, very strong.
Yeah. When it comes to untouchables, I'm just gonna say Malik Nabers. To me, some holds, some guys that we want to hold going into the season. I would definitely say Trey Benson, as we just mentioned in the last one. Let's see who else we can definitely hold. Dante Thornton. We can definitely hold as well. I would say Kyle Williams. A lot of wide receivers we could potentially hold, or we can potentially tier up and utilize that, especially in a smaller league here. And then that's probably about it, unless there's anyone else that's coming to mind. I guess Ricky Pearsall, but I guess that was a big hold for us in the off season because a lot of people
Ricky all off season, but now it's like everyone's on the same page. Like, oh yeah,
yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So I would just say those guys for sure right now, and then easy drops: Michael Wilson, Jordan Whittington, Will Shipley. You can drop, or De'Ami Brown. You can drop. Kayshon Booty.
You can drop
all those guys.
Chuck and Wilson. Like, it's a 1 quarterback. Wilson. Unless it's going to be super flex at some point, there's just no reason to have 5 quarterbacks.
So a bunch of guys you can drop for sure.
All right. Overall team grade, what did we say here?
I think you said B+, no?
Yeah, that's kind of where I stand. I will put him as a contender for sure. I would say same thing, like still a contender. There's more than enough competitive squad here to go out and contend this year. He does have his first in 26 and 27. Okay. So let's have a look at your draft. Your rookie draft. I know you ended up with Genty, but you traded it for Henderson and Walker. I gave you a B. I actually think I should give you a B-. Just being honest with you, your format, I would not have traded Ash and Genty. I love Henderson, and maybe we'll look like fools because Henderson in the NFL will be more superior in PPR formats. I could totally see that. But just in such a small league with a small starting lineup, I would have just kept the premium player. But I like the players you've got here with like Henderson, Sampson, Williams, Loveland. I'm a big fan of that haul there. Now, what I would suggest with a roster like this, does anybody need quarterback? I doubt it. Like, let me just look at the worst So the worst quarterback room is Dart and Tua.
especially in the 10 man. So like,
Maybe we could sell Baker to the Dart and Tua team. I wonder what that would look like. So the Dart and Tua team, they have like a Bucky Irving, a Matthew Golden. I'm wondering if we could send like Pacheco and Baker for a Kyron or something, you know? Baker Mayfield
right.
plus Isaiah Pacheco. People are getting much more comfortable with Isaiah Pacheco. So, you know, that's something that you could try. I would even be willing to add like a second and third round pick swap on that as well. So again, just trying to get you in the door as many times, given that this is such a small roster and we want to upgrade where we can. But I just don't think there's another. Let me just check. Like, is there another team that has a quarterback need? No, not really. Like the second worst one has Mahomes. Yeah.
Yeah, especially in a smaller league, a start 10.
Now,
So,
the other idea is doing like a. So, for example, packaging Pacheco and Addison and upgrading at running back or wide receiver. I'd be open to something like that.
okay.
Aaron Jones and Addison, or Pacheco and Addison. Not that I'm anti-Addison. I just think that's the name I would want to tier up from. I don't ever see Addison being like a top 12 ranked receiver in Dynasty. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's either Aaron Jones and Pacheco or Aaron Jones and Addison or Isaiah Pacheco and Addison. I think you'll get more return from Pacheco Addison. So let's find a team that is running back or wide receiver needy. So, for example, Van City Warriors could definitely use some help. The issue is I don't know how we benefit here. But what about something silly like asking for a first and Tootin or something? You know, a future first plus like Bashul Tootin, where you just like, you know, these guys are great. I just don't think they're going to be the difference between you winning and losing your championship, given all the depth that you have, given the nature of this league. So that would be an idea just to give you more flexibility moving forward. And then maybe that first it retains more value long term. You're not going to get Brian Thomas. We have to be realistic about that. How about the last team that has, okay, so like they have James Cook. What if we can get James Cook out of this? Let's say James Cook and a second, and we send that package plus a third. I'd be open to a move like that. Again, just trying to get the more premium player. It's okay if we quote-unquote lose a deal for depth or something. The guy who has Saquon, I don't see that being realistic, but what about going to Lab McConkey in this deal? That would also be something I'd be interested in. And again, you can interchange Jones and Pacheco depending on what that player might be more interested in.
Yeah.
Garrett Wilson, I would probably be interested in doing a deal like that, but that would be the overall idea here. I don't think many people have a need at quarterback, so we can't really use quarterback. This guy has Chase Brown as an RB3. I'd be willing to do that same thing.
That was the team I was about to say. Chase Brown, his wide receivers is not that strong.
Chase Brown, you're probably not going to get a second back. It's probably just straight up for those two names, right? And even then, you might have to send like a second and get a third or something.
Yeah.
So he's going to cost more, but if you want to go all in this year, he's the name that could be like this year's Austin Eckler of old, if that makes sense. But yeah, those are the ideas I would have. Essentially, with this roster, as many times as you can tier up, do it, because ultimately, this is a very small league and depth just doesn't matter. Like, I don't care if you... Right now, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 startable running backs and 2 young guys with handcuff status. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 startable wide receivers with some high upside breakout potential on the bench. You've got 2 starting tight ends. I would be happy to lose 1 depth piece across the board at every single position to upgrade.
Yeah. Appreciate you, Vinegar Strokes, man. You should be receiving your playbook here within 48 to 72 hours on the Flock Fantasy message system here.
Yes.
Customized with everything that we drew up here for you. today.
Appreciate you big time. And again, guys, we do have another stream coming up today, but we're doing this stream because a lot of you guys are purchasing playbooks. Shout out to y'all, and we want to get them done for you. All right, let's jump into the next one. This is Tone Star. World Star.
R.I.P. World Star.
And to Michael, yes, we have room. What's up, Scribbles, Hot Rock, and Styles, all in the building. Good to see y'all.
What's happening, y'all? What's happening? Two quarterback.
No context, but
start 10. Yeah. 2 quarterback, 10 team start 10. So that's our middle ground once again, just in a super flex format there. And yes, you are absolutely right. No context. So let's have a look straight at his team. Let me just double check that there's nothing in the back end though. Okay. Your team is T-Rex, which is currently ranked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Same format as before, no?
7. Yeah, just in a Superflex format.
Or the first one we did today, my bad. Not the last one, the first one, yeah.
All right, let's have a look at this team.
Yep.
At the quarterback position, Bo Nix, Dak Prescott, Tyler Shook. I think that's a good quarterback room. That's all you kind of need right now. Especially Tyler Shook. I expect him to start the second half of the season. At the running back position, which at the moment doesn't look too strong, Quinshawn, JCM, Jaden Blue, Travis Etienne, Brian Robinson. So you had a couple starting running backs at the beginning of the whole season. But now there's really no one that you can start outside of, I guess, JCM and Travis Etienne at the moment. And then it's going to have to develop as you continue to move on. At the wide receiver position, you can start 5 wide receivers in this league: CeeDee Lamb, Olave, Ayuk, Zay, Higgins, Wandale, Demario Douglas. So not the strongest wide receiver. I mean, it's good, but once again, still, you're not going to have a couple of these guys for the first half of the season with Colston, Loveland there. So you don't have your first.
He doesn't have his first in back-to-back years. With a roster like this, that is not ideal. That's really rough.
This is a 0.5 tight end premium, which I guess doesn't really.
How did we lose our first? Like, what name on this roster could we possibly have moved our first for?
Maybe it was CeeDee Lamb. It wasn't him.
I guess.
You know.
If you remove CeeDee Lamb, who's going in the first round of a startup?
Yeah, well, that's it, really.
Man, I would hate to be in this position, if I'm honest with you. I don't understand why we felt the confidence to move our first round picks. Maybe this is an orphan. We don't have any context. I think this team's in rough shape. I really do. I would probably give this a C+.
Okay.
C+. I mean, you have a first next year. It's from whoever Brown Bag is.
Yeah, he's ranked currently 8th, it looks like.
But their team is arguably better than yours, in my opinion.
Yeah, they're in a better position than you.
They're probably going to make the playoffs. So that first round pick might not be very valuable in a class we don't love anyway. And how did you lose your first in 27, man? There's just no flexibility with this roster. Are we supposed to lie to this person and tell them you can compete? You can compete with the running back room of. This sucks. I'm sorry. Let's be more positive though.
You took that really personally. You was like, gosh, wow, like I'm so hurt. Like that was.
I'm just annoyed for this person.
Went straight to the heart there.
So you can start Nix, Prescott, I guess, Etienne, and
probably have to be Etienne and JCM at the moment.
We don't even know if he's startable, but yeah. CD, Olave, Loveland. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You still have to start 3 names.
3 more.
Oh my god.
I guess Zay Flowers is going to be the next one. And then I guess Zay Flowers, Higgins, and then Wandale, I guess.
My god.
Or Dante.
Okay. Do we throw the kitchen sink and trade picks away? Because if we leave the roster as it's currently constructed, someone else is just going to benefit a lot from us being a terrible team. So I don't see how we don't just use these picks and try and go and piece together a roster here.
Sure, let's do it.
Do you disagree though?
No, I don't disagree. I don't think it's as terrible just because of the of the draft capital that we do have, like if we can get a low in RB2 with our second rounder, and we can get a heavy hitter somehow with our first rounder, then I think we could potentially be in the mix. Now, I agree, we're not in love with the Zay Flowers of the world. We're not in love with, well, not that we're not in love, but Brandon Ayuk, we don't know when he's going to come back. But I guess there is another pathway, as I am optimist.
You're optimist, Prime?
I'm optimistic.
You are optimist.
That things could go in your way. Now, that is a big what if. That is a big hypothetical. So if we can make the right moves, maybe
Autobots.
there's light at the end of the tunnel.
Autobots roll out. All right, yeah. By the way,
That's all.
Sorry, I'm not trying to be a dick. I just really hate this team. Okay. Yeah. Again, in my opinion, I could not rationalize a reason to not try and move these picks and compete, because again, if you're going to be a bad team, then you're not going to benefit from it whatsoever. So
Yeah,
I guess option one, which would be like
do some admin stuff really fast. Sorry, before we move on.
Okay.
Which I don't think we got into. Obviously, untouchables will be CeeDee Lamb. We could potentially trade down from him. Holds. JCM, I would say Jaden Higgins. Tyler Shook is going to be a nice hold in this team. And then Dante Thornton is also going to be a hold as well. Easy drops. Miles Sanders, I would say Devin Neal as well, and Jawan Johnson are going to be the easy 3 drops for me. Draft capital, great. You don't have your first, but you do have a first. Couple seconds. I'm just going to say maybe like a C+, B-. And then main pathway forward is going to be... I think this is more of like an in and out type of team. I'm not sure how you feel.
I think it's windows open for me, but
Oh, yes, because we don't have our first. You're right.
Yeah.
You're
and,
right. Okay.
you know, I don't know that I agree with WG here. I mean, if you think about this logistically, if we go ahead and we trade away Dak Prescott on this team, and let's say we send away an Olave, an Etienne, then what are we doing that for? Maybe the second best pick in or maybe the best second round pick in 2026. I mean, yeah, I guess I don't necessarily agree, but anyway.
Okay. Go ahead. You're on the clock.
Oh,
you're on the clock.
Are we done with admin?
Yeah, sorry. Yes, we are done with that.
All right. In an ideal world, you get your first back. All right. So your 2026 first, or your 2027 first. In an ideal world, you get those back, and then you can just completely tank and sell off some of these players, because I just don't believe this team is going to win a championship, but I could be wrong. So, can we send a Dak Prescott away and get your first in either of these years? I'd be happy with. If that doesn't work, and I imagine it won't, could we send Dak Prescott and like a Travis Etienne, Dak Prescott and, you know, a third or something, you know?
Yeah. So, by the way, the guy that has his first is currently ranked first.
Of course he is. That guy probably knows what he's doing.
Ashton Genty, Marion Hampton, Travion Henderson, Brian Thomas, Jay Ascent, Marvin, Rome, Trey.
Yeah.
He has May Williams.
Yeah.
So he doesn't really need it. In this scenario, he probably is not going to need Dak Prescott. He's probably going to want his best. He's probably going to want CeeDee Lamb. There's no one else valued as a first here.
Okay. Well, what we can try is, does he have both of his first or just one?
He has both of his first.
Okay.
He must have done this for CeeDee. I feel like that
could work out then. So what we're going to do is we are going to send you CeeDee Lamb. We want your 2026 plus your 2027 first, and we could probably get more than that. Especially if this guy's like the number one name. This guy just knows what he's killing everyone in this league, honestly. But could we also get Luther Burden?
Yeah, that's where mine went to.
Luther Burden or Roma Dunze, you know. Dunze would be ideal. I don't know how possible that would be, But Luther Burden, I would ask for an additional second if it's Burden. So that type of deal, either one of these just lets you say, all right, if I do that deal, let me go sell Dak Prescott. Let me sell
I think
ETN.
if you do that, if you do that deal, it goes straight into full rebuild. I think maybe that's what it needs to do. It's like if you somehow do acquire both of your first, then this whole narrative changes straight to full rebuild, and everything is out the door. Like we're selling Zay Flowers high, we're selling all these other players high in season, just so that we can continue. Then we can start rebuilding. But if you can't do that, then you kind of have to try and compete this year. Just so, you know.
So I guess you're right. It is in or out because we're providing two pathways. What's up, Fantasy Football Garage? Welcome in. Nice, Michael. We'll definitely get to yours. Option 2 is going all in. So you have a 2026 first. You have 2026 second. And the question is, can we piece together a starting lineup? Can we add a running back or two and a receiver that's flexible? You know, can we do that with our next 2 picks? Can we get a Devontae Adams? Can we get a Mike Evans? Can we get a Khalil Shakir? I'm trying to think about these names. A Jerry Jeudy. You know, can we get a David Montgomery? Who else is at the running back spot there? James Conner, you know, those type of names. Can we send our first away for the James Cooks of the world? You know, can we get a James Cook? Can we get a Ken Walker? Can we get, just trying to think out loud here. Probably wouldn't do Breece Hall at this point, but, you know, can you, those are the type of names where, let's say you were able to add James Cook and Jerry Jeudy. That's going to give you at least a startable lineup, right? It would be Nix, Prescott, James Cook, and then ETN or whoever, Judkins comes back, JCM, right? Then Lamb, Olave, Jeudy, Flowers, Loveland. You're able to actually piece together a starting lineup, and you're not so in the middle. Because right now, at least my opinion, and that's what you're here for, is the way this team currently is set up, you're just completely in the middle, and there's no direction with this team. So that's what we would do. And I'm sorry, maybe I was too rude. I'm trying to be helpful and direct. You are muted, Badaki.
He took it personally. I am muted.
Probably did.
But we appreciate you. You should be receiving this playbook within 48 to 72 hours, customized with everything that you have drawn, or we've drawn up here for you today. Okay, let's go to the next one.
Now,
Big old Thanos.
Is Thanos a Thanos? That's what we have to ask, you know? But more likely than not, no, but we can dream, right?
He can dream.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just setting up this playbook here for you.
That's okay. While Badaki's doing that, in case anybody is new here, you can get your team playbook, customized game plan for your Dynasty season. It's beautiful. And you can get it by becoming a promo code LAND annual Mother Flock. Remember, that will give you a voucher that you can use through the Flock store. You guys know the rest. Let us know if you guys have any questions. But appreciate y'all for being here with us. All right, let's jump into this next team.
Yeah, 1 quarterback, 12 teams, start 8. That is our classic meat and potatoes there. Let's have a look. Chasing Excellence is his team name. And the context here says this is a 1 quarterback IDP league with 6-point passing touchdowns and 1 point for every 10-yard passing. Feeling good at quarterback and wide receiver, but trying to figure out running back strategy. One note is wide receiver trade market is bananas in this league because of the consolations of elite wide receivers on 2/3 teams. Thank you for your help. Okay.
Just double checking here, like just 1 second before we move on. I'm just seeing where we are right now in the queue. Okay, so we have Thanos here. Nate was Dynasty. Hall Goat is Dynasty. And Proper Vibes just got one in. So we put the redraft stream at, I thought we said 11, but it says 10. Let me change that.
Was it at 11?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me
I
change
thought you said
that.
9 and 10. I thought we were going to do it for an hour. But yeah, that's fine. That's totally fine.
Okay. No, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. Okay.
I'll make that.
You're currently ranked
I'll make it.
second out of 12 here, and let's have a look at this team. At the quarterback position, Jordan Love, Brock Purdy, J.J. McCarthy. At the running back position, Alvin, Mason, Stevenson, Rashad White, and the list goes on. Not the strongest RB room there for me, especially with the depth. At the wide receiver position, you can start up to 4. Chase, Puka, Amon-Ra, T, Higgins, with David Njoku, and you don't have your firsts in 2026 or in 2027. So we're going straight to some admin here. So obviously, Jamar Chase is going to be an untouchable with Puka Nacua, and Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah.
Holds here.
This is definitely windows open, but continue. Sorry.
Yeah. Holds here. Jaden Higgins.
Higgins, Giddens,
JJ
McCarthy, and let's say, for now, Trey Harris.
Then drops. Because you don't necessarily have to drop anyone at the moment. You can kind of keep these guys in season, so we're not going to put any drops here for you. Like you said, windows open. Your draft capital grade, you don't have your own first, but you do have 2 firsts in 27, 1 in 26. So I'm just going to put that as a B- just because it's not yours. And the overall team grade, I don't know how you feel. I think this is kind of like a B flat type of team, maybe B-. Is that how you feeling?
Yeah, I said yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's all admin there.
All right, Whomper, the waiver wire is it's just a glitch with the new update. They're gonna add it back here soon. But yeah, I mean, without your first next year, I think everyone knows what I'm gonna say. It's a Windows open roster, and you've kind of put yourself in a position where you do need to go out and compete this year. Because without your first, you're not gonna benefit at all from not competing this year. And you've got a lot of veterans like the Kamaras. Well, I guess Kamara is really the only veteran. You added DJ Giddens in the draft. You added Jaden Higgins. I think Jaden Higgins is going to pay off long term. I know there's not a lot of hype right now. There was a lot of hype in camp. Right now, it looks like Christian Kirk is going to start over him. But I would just say I overall like the draft that you ended up with. I gave you a C+ just because, Jaden Higgins is the main name that I could see making a big impact. So it's not like you added a ton of players that are going to really change your team. Now, your starting lineup is probably Purdy, Kamara, Mason for now, then Chase, Puka, and Njoku. That makes 6. You have to start 8, so Amon-Ra makes 7, and Higgins makes 8. It's a good starting lineup. I mean, you need Jordan Mason or Stevenson, or some injury, so one of your handcuffs, kind of step up. Excuse me. But what I would probably be looking to do, given we don't have our own first, where's Warriors first going to be? Warriors is the worst team in the league, but even his team is good. Like, he can make the playoffs with the Mahomes, Saquon, Cook, Henry, Metcalf, Waddle, Adams, Tucker, Kraft, Travis Kelce. So it's not like that pick is guaranteed to be number 1 overall or anything.
Well, I mean, to be fair, this is one quarterback. Never mind. I was going to say this is super flex.
No, yeah. So I am wondering if we try and send that 2026 first to go get a running back. Now, I would probably say the best course of action, step 1, let's just say, hold and wait till in season. Okay, like ideally a Jordan Mason, a Ramondre Stevenson, a handcuff on your team. Ideally, they figure out your RB2 spot, right? Now, step 2 is maybe that hasn't been figured out. Trade for RB. Okay, so step 2 is, okay, that's not getting figured out. Can we go send our first round pick? And is there anyone who's like committed to a rebuild that has a running back? This guy's got a lot of picks, so He has Josh Jacobs. He's got a lot of first and 27. Can you go get Josh Jacobs? That might be a good idea for a team like this. And that might be a good trade partner for you as well, given he looks like he's all in for the future. Any of these other teams? The team at the top,
My gosh,
not really.
dude.
But if you could get like James Conner for a future second, that might be helpful. So instead of a first, just any future second for James Conner might be helpful for your team. Let's keep looking here, though. So the Jacobs guy we took note of. The guy at the bottom has Kyron Chuba Monty. I wonder if you could get Kyron Williams. If you can't, what about Chuba Hubbard? Could you send 2 future seconds for Chuba Hubbard to him?
Chuba, yeah.
If that's not possible, let's see. Would you send a first for Caleb Johnson right now? Because his hype's at an all-time low. I would do that.
I don't know if I would, but
Okay.
I feel like you should be able to buy low on him. I feel like his hype. You said his hype is on an all-time low, correct?
Yeah, I don't think you.
Yeah.
I don't remember you being able to get Caleb Johnson for a 2026 first after the draft.
No, and I agree. So that's why I'm saying like maybe you can be a little bit cheaper, but I doubt you can do that. But I would rather take a shot on. Well, actually, I was gonna say take a shot on Quinchon, but no, you can't. I'm not doing that for a first.
Well, it just doesn't help the direction.
Yeah, it doesn't help right now. Exactly.
But yeah, that's the game plan, my friend. I know we're not able to see your IDP, but assuming your IDP is in a good spot, and if RB2 is your only weakness, then definitely hold until in season. But
yeah,
overall, like the team, you're in a good spot. I just typically don't like not having my own first, so that's my only issue with it.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for the support. Once again, should be receiving that within 48 to 72 hours here. And let's go to the next one, which I think is Nate.
Yeah, Nate is our next playbook here. Appreciate y'all for being here with us.
Okay.
We have a playbook from Alex. This is another Dynasty one too, so we'll see how many we can do today. If not, maybe we can do some of these on the redraft stream as well. Nate says, made some trades out of the startup, got some my guys like Amon-Ra St. Brown in there. I think I'm pretty sure I'm contending for the next 2 to 3 years. Should I trade away my first in 26 plus a Kamara Adams to upgrade the position? League is mid-active in trading. Some do, some don't right now. Okay. So 1 quarterback start 8. It's a small league. It's a pretty easy starting lineup to fill, so we're not going to care about depth too much. His name is NS Giants. He's ranked 2nd and pretty much tied with the first guy in value overall. Take us through this team.
Okay, here we go. Having a look at this team here. At the quarterback position, Drake May, Jackson Dart, Justin Fields. That's all you need. Amarion Hampton at the running back position, Jonathan Taylor, Alvin, Zach Charbonnet. That's good. With Malik Neighbors, Amon-Ra, Olave, Emeka, Ricky, Devontae at the wide receiver position, which looks like you probably trade away my mid first in a piece like Alvin and Adams to upgrade. Okay, never mind. And Colson Loveland and Evan 26 first.
Had a lot of draft picks for this team.
Yeah. Okay. Going through some admin stuff at the Untouchables, excuse me. Had a little brain fart there. Untouchables, Malik Neighbors, Amon-Ra St. Brown are going to be your 2 guys that we are going to want to keep for the foreseeable future. At the hold position, I would say names like Zach Charbonnet,
Jalen Knoll. I would go like Knoll, Marks, Coker.
Yeah, Jalen Knoll, Woody Marks.
You can
cut. And then Jalen Coker.
I wouldn't cut anyone really.
Yeah, so it's hard to cut something anyone right now. Draft capital, you have first, but you don't have all that other stuff, like your seconds and your third. So I'm just gonna put it as a B-. Overall team grade, I don't mind this team. I think you're kind of in a great spot, so you don't have to make moves. I would just say this is like a B+ type of team.
Yeah. I mean, If Drake May takes off, you're in the A range for sure.
Even if he doesn't take off, you have a rushing upside quarterback,
be A-
Justin
already,
Fields.
but yeah.
Yeah.
A-,
So,
B+, and I think this is definitely a contender.
yeah, exactly.
So we're going to contend with this roster, and we're going to try and find out a way to do it effectively. Now, I do think, I was just looking at your starting lineup there. I was starting to count up and trying to piece together what your lineup would look like. I do think you have the flexibility to move some names. Right now, May, Hampton, Taylor, Neighbors, Amon-Ra, Loveland, Olave Igbuka makes 8. You could put Kamara in there instead of Olave if you wanted to, but still with Kamara on the bench or intertwining with the other guys. Pearsall, Adams are on your bench. So I do think you could tier up, and Olave is a name I'd like to do that with. So if we did like an Olave Kamara and tried to upgrade at running back or wide receiver, I think that would be my ideal outcome in a trade. So again, Chris Olave plus Alvin Kamara. And can we upgrade somewhere? That's going to... If there's a Saints fan, great. Actually, Saint fans might be revolting against their own team. But you could also try Adams, Kamara too. You know, I actually don't think the price is going to be that different between selling those two names. But we can definitely try and upgrade there. You have the depth to do so. Just quickly, your draft, you did great. I mean, you had a huge draft. A lot of teams we reviewed so far today, they haven't had like a transformational draft just because they probably didn't have many picks. Yours, not the same. You got Dart, you got Hampton, you got Igbuka, you got Loveland. It's a huge influx of youth on this roster. All right, let's have a look at some potential partners that we could upgrade with. Is there any? Let's check. The Gray Knights need help at running back. Could we go get Rashee Rice, right? Could we send Olave and Kamara and get Rashee Rice? I don't know. Maybe you could get a plus on this. Probably not. But what if you could get on top of it like a Cooper Kupp or something? You know, nobody wants Cooper Kupp. So that kind of idea. If you can do any of these ideas, I would just say all deals above are interchangeable with Adams. Okay? But let's keep looking. I don't think you can do a London, so we won't even try that. And Jigbuzz and Paris have Harvey Hubbard. What do you think about a like trying to hit on more of like an upside? At this point, Kamara is never going to gain value, but Harvey could, Golden could.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
If we do like an RJ Harvey plus a Matthew Golden, and then we probably have to throw in, I doubt you could get this done straight up. If you can, great. But I would be happy to throw in like a second. Do we have a future second?
No, I don't think we
No,
do.
we don't.
We just, we do have a 27 second, sorry.
And then we would ask back for a third. Let's keep looking here at our options with other teams, because there might be other teams here that would be willing to dance with the devil. All right, let's see here. Let's see. We could look at any teams that are looking to upgrade at either position. The Monty team. What if we could get Marvin Harrison? That's going to be tough. I doubt that's possible, so I don't want to suggest it. What about a Travis Hunter? Travis Hunter plus, I don't know, Jordan Mason?
Yeah, that's okay.
And then we could send back, Jalen Noel or Woody Marks, Justin Fields, something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Something in between there to kind of lubricate the deal.
Gotta lubricate it.
Sometimes you got to add a little lube. Roma Dunze, Jameson Williams. I'd love to go to a Roma Dunze just straight up for this, actually. I don't mind. I really don't mind that. I don't know if that's crazy to say. Like, maybe you can add Tank Bigsby to your side. But but I would be totally fine with that.
Yeah, especially with the RB depth that you have, I'm okay with that as well.
Yeah, those are the main ideas there to upgrade with all the teams that we've looked at for you. Maybe this guy could maybe use an Olave. Could you get a Chase Brown from him? It would probably look like the same thing. Chase Brown plus something that's really not important on their roster. So like a Chase Brown plus I feel like Downs is asking too much, but maybe a Mooney or something. Yeah. That's the path I would take with this team.
Hey man, we appreciate you.
Really like this team a lot. I don't really feel you need to make a move. You just asked about the upgrade, so we gave you some ideas. But I think in like week 5, you're going to be hyped about Pearsall, like Buka, maybe not Olave. So maybe if you want to try and move off of him now, you can do so.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for the support there, Nate. Should be receiving your playbook here within 48 to 72 hours on the Flock Fantasy message system, customized with everything that we drew up here for you today. All right, going to the next team here.
Yep, Hall Goat.
We have Hall Goat. Okay, let's have a look. 2 quarterback, 12 team start 10. This is our classic middle ground here, and I'll put that in the chat for you guys to follow. And he says, rough start from my running back room in the Big Money Brooklyn League. Oh, okay, this is our league.
Hell yeah.
Badaki, need advice if you think I can fix my running back room to compete this year, or if I should look to get a head start on either reloading or rebuilding. Love the content. Keep up the good work. Okay, you can see here I'm currently ranked 3rd. Shout out to Macy, ranked 1st. Anyways, you are currently ranked 5th out of 12. Keep in mind this is a 0.5 tight end premium league. And okay. Let's have a
0.75 or 5?
0.75, excuse me.
Okay.
Trevor Lawrence, 2 attacks, Sam Darnold. Not the strongest, but it's all right. At the running back position, no. Quinshon really hurt you there. No running backs. Honestly, Quinshon killed you. Joe Mixon killed you. Let's not even talk about it. At the wide receiver position, CeeDee Lamb, Puka, JSN, DJ, Cedric. At the tight end position, Evan Ingram here. Okay. Going straight to some admin stuff. CeeDee Lamb, Puka Nakua are definitely going to be guys you are not going to be moving, with some holds named like Tootin, Quinshon Judkins, Jalen Coker, Dante Thornton are going to be the guys that you're going to want to hold there. And some drops. You can easily drop the Tyrod Taylors and the Kenny Pickett's of the world for sure. I can definitely get what you're saying, that like, what do you do? Do you kind of start to rebuild because your running back room just really hurt you right there? Like, how are you going to compete with this team?
Yeah.
To be fair, this is our first year. This is a startup, so you can kind of wait and see what happens and then kind of pivot. But go ahead, go for it with your thoughts.
Have we done all admin already?
That's all the untouchables, holds,
okay.
Easy drops.
Right.
Draft capital is B because you have one of your first. Overall team grade, I would say.
Yeah, let's start there. I love the Lamb Puka combo there, JSN. I love the wide receiver room, but the quarterback room is rough. Running back room is rough. I would probably lean like a C flat.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
Yeah, C flat, C plus range. And I would probably look towards punting, because Judkins is going to be a great asset. It's just right now is not the year to try and go out and compete with him. So I will probably say let's punt this year. And that means we're probably going to look to sell Tua tags if we can in season. Sam Darnold if we can in season. They're not great guys to sell right now. DJ Moore we can look to move. God, Joe Mixon, my God, if anything is worth Joe Mixon. Javonte Williams. You already said DJ Moore. Evan Ingram as well, which Evan Ingram, oddly enough, might be the easiest piece to move given the nature of the premium. But, so I gave you... I know you guys did your startup, but if this was like a rookie draft, I would give it a C. Not bad. Judkins is going to be a strong hold if you already didn't put him on the holds. He's definitely a hold. But yeah, I would be pretty content punting. Now, some of these guys, I would actually argue that every name not named Evan Ingram is probably a hold and sell in season, as in Like, no one's excited about trading for any of these names in Dynasty, right? So I would probably say sell in season. Now, obviously, some of these guys won't perform, and it might be harder, but I would say Ingram is the easiest name to sell of all these names. Javonte Williams, Joe Mixon, DJ Moore, Tags, Darnold. There's just no excitement for any of these names. Evan Ingram is the one name that people are excited. And what we could do is find a contending roster that's weak at tight end, and see if we can give them Evan Ingram. Let's have a look here. Holgo, that's you already. So Travesty, which is a fan of the show, could we send Travesty? I wonder if we could send him Ingram and DJ Moore and grab his 26 first, as well as, no, I mean, what you could try and do is sell Ingram and Javonte potentially. So let's just try that. Like Ingram and Javonte Williams for a 2026 first. Obviously, Travesty is the target there. Travesty is pretty smart, though. I think he's probably just going to hold.
Yeah, a lot of smart people in this league for sure, so it's going to be a bit tough.
The guy who has Jonnu Smith might be a more natural option. And he doesn't have a first this year, so this could work. Could you get like a second in Keon Coleman for Evan? Keon Coleman plus a second. If that's not possible, again, I'm trying to keep in mind the premium here. Maybe you send a third back and get Coleman in the second, trying to build around him long term. I'm not the biggest fan of him, but I would rather build around him than Evan Ingram. Going to be really tough to net a first here. I would say best case scenario is landing a Jameson Williams type of player, but that's going to be really difficult. I think what you'd have to do is like sell Evan Ingram and Javonte Williams, or if that doesn't work, which I wouldn't work for me, maybe Evan Ingram and Tua Tags, you know, for Jameson and a second, and you send a third, that kind of deal.
Yeah.
Because he could use a quarterback 3, Bullrog. And Elijah Arroyo, Kelsey, I think he's probably just going to hold with that combo there. Okay, so in season, I would say any first in any year for DJ Moore. Joe Mixon, God, I mean, there's a chance he doesn't play this year.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing. Like, Scribbles was asking me what's the capital I would give up. I thought about it. I mean, the highest I would do is probably like a third.
Yeah,
like,
I would
that's
say
like being really generous.
You would take any second in any year, but that's reliant on him coming back at some point and playing, right? For Javonte, I think you could probably get multiple thirds. Again, this is projecting here. Like, you know, if he's a starter and he's, you know, the equivalent of what Rico Dowdle was last year, I think you get multiple thirds. For Tua, in an ideal world, you know, you move Tua Tags for, like, you move either of these names, honestly, for a, like, Jackson Dart. That's going to be hard, but, you know, possibly any first in any year. I don't think you're going to get a first for these guys, but who knows? Maybe we see the Dolphins come out and Mike McDaniel's figured out how to revive that team. Probably going to ask for multiple seconds, though. That's probably what you're going to end up getting. So yeah, that would be my plan for this team. A lot of detail there, a lot of ideas, but hopefully it's helpful.
Yeah, man, we appreciate you. Thank you so much. Send me a trade if you need. I need a quarterback, to be fair. I need our QB.
You need a quarterback? Do you like Tua or you hate Darnold? So, yeah.
I don't like Darnold, so I don't mind Tua, but I don't have...
Would you do like Tua for Ricky?
No, I would just rather take my shot on you know, because I don't think his value. I think Ricky can have higher value return later. So we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see what happens. But
yeah. All right. Well, appreciate you big time, my friend. Hopefully that is helpful. And sorry I couldn't bring more positive news.
Okay.
Proper vibes.
521. Proper vibes.
You know the
How many other
vibes.
ones?
We've got Proper Vibes and Alex.
Okay, awesome. I think we could potentially finish both of these guys, unless we get more. Okay, proper vibes. You know the vibes, like Zach said. 2 quarterback 12 teams start 10. That is another middle ground there, which I'll put in the chat for you, so everyone can kind of follow along. All right, he says, yo, just finished a startup draft, and after seeing how I stacked up against my league with the flock rankings, I decided to go for it this year. I traded my 26th first for Josh Jacobs. What additional moves do you recommend? I think there is value moving at quarterback or tight end with my builds. And this is a 0.5 tight end premium. Proper, lads, and you currently ranked first, which is great for you. First out of 12. And let's have a look at this team. Brock Purdy, J.J. McCarthy, Dak Prescott there with Danny Dimes. At the running back position, Jahmyr Gibbs, Josh Jacobs, Alvin Kamara, JCM. So you just traded for Josh Jacobs. That means your running back was probably Jahmyr Gibbs and Alvin Kamara before. At the wide receiver position, CeeDee Lamb, Ladd, Hunter, Ayuk, Diggs, Noah, Coker. The list goes on with George Kittle and Mark Andrews. At the untouchables, of course, CeeDee Lamb, of course, Jahmyr Gibbs. At the hold position, we're going to continue to say JCM, Jalen Coker, Jalen Noel as well.
Marks.
And Woody Marks. And holds or drops, you can drop the Pokes, DeAndre Hopkins of the world. Hell, Eric All. I'm done with Marshawn Lloyd, I think. The guy can't stay healthy.
I wouldn't drop Marshawn, but I would drop Eric for sure.
Yeah, Eric for sure. Draft capital. You don't have your first, kind of puts you in that windows open category.
Yeah,
you do have your first
open for sure.
Do have your first in 27. So I'm just going to say B- there, and then overall team grade, which I don't mind this team. I really do like it. I'm just going to say a B flat. Actually, let me just double check. How many wide receivers again?
I would go B plus. This is pretty solid, especially if JJ, is able to break out.
I guess I'm just a little bit concerned on he has Mark and Kittle, so never mind. I was like, I'm concerned about that flex option because I think he still might be short with Ayuk.
Well, he doesn't even have to flex one of those tight ends if he doesn't want to, because Diggs is a flexible name. I'm looking at his lineup thinking Purdy, Dak, Gibbs, Jacobs,
you're right.
Lamb, McConkey, Kittle. That makes 7. Kamara makes 8. Hunter makes 9, and Diggs makes 10. So if JCM is anything great, Bigsby same thing. Andrews, if he's startable, great. So, but So that would be my grade, and I would also go ahead and say windows open.
Okay, and we can move on then.
Okay, so overall, let's have a look at your draft. I know you technically didn't do a draft because you did a startup. But if this were your rookie draft, Travis Hunter's the main piece there. JCM's a fun upside guy. I love Jalen Noel, love Arroyo. I gave you a B-. I like the draft overall. You just only had one guy in particular that I could say, like, yeah, that guy's definitely going to impact this roster long term. There's a lot of names that could, though, right? But I like the team. I definitely agree that we're competing. To be honest, you've kind of already put yourself in that direction, in the sense of you've already used your first. So I don't know how much more we can suggest here. Maybe we could try and sell Daniel Jones, or you could. I don't want to sell Dak because you're trying to compete right now.
I would definitely sell Daniel Jones immediately, personally. But
yeah, as a former Giants fan, you've been through the experience. But we could look to sell Danny Dimes and maybe even capitalize on the JCM hype, like package Daniel Jones and JCM, and I wonder what that could look like.
Normally what I've been doing in our leagues is going straight to the Anthony Richardson owner and saying, "Hey, do you want the package?" Some of them are interested,
Right. Well, let's just see if anybody has a quarterback need. TDs, has Goff to a shuck. So could we give them JCM and Jones? Asking to get Kyron Williams is kind of unreasonable, but JCM is going for a first in some leagues. I don't know how high your league is on JCM.
You're kidding me.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like the screenshots
that's
are making
crazy.
the rounds, but
That's
I'd
crazy.
be curious if like you could wiggle into like a Kyron Williams if you added like a second onto this or something, you know?
Sure.
Now, I know this sounds insane. In a lot of leagues, you don't even need to add the second because JCM is just such a, yeah. People are sitting first for JCM.
That's crazy.
I
That's
love
wild.
JCM, but it's the hype's gotten.
I'll take
crazy right now.
if you're out there and I have JCM and you have a first, send it to me right now.
He did say that a lot of people love Dak because there's a lot of Cowboy fans in the chat, so we can look at that as well. I will say I would be very cautious because you've already put yourself in a contend window, and if McCarthy doesn't pan out, and if Jones is shit, without Dak, you've already committed to contend. You'd be in a really difficult spot, I'd say. Okay. But let's keep looking. The WNBA dildos, oh my god. They have Richardson, so this could work. Could you find your way into a Ken Walker? You know, kind of same idea.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say you need to send the second right now. But maybe a third.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
So that could be another idea. And he is the Richardson owner. On the opposite side of that, I doubt you net worthy, but if you could find a way to do that, like I'd be willing to send Jones JCM in a second for worthy, I think. At this point. Maybe I'd get back a third or something.
Yeah.
And then overthinking. That's funny. I would be trying to go get like a George Pickens maybe. I wonder if we can leave JCM out of the deal entirely and just do Daniel Jones in a second for George Pickens.
Okay.
Although that might be a Cowboys fan now that I'm thinking about it. Now, if you do send Dak Prescott, and I wouldn't advise it right now, all I would do is just, put on the block, highest bidder. If everybody's a Cowboys fan, like, can you?
Yeah, you got to take advantage. You got to take advantage of the Cowboys fan to kind of push that narrative up. Let them fight amongst each other.
Is there a scenario where you turn him into, you turn Dak Prescott into like a Baker Mayfield plus? Can you turn him into Caleb Williams? Can you turn him into Drake May somehow if the hype is at an all-time high in your league? Jared Goff plus. That would be the kind of move I would make. So I'm never putting myself in a position where I don't have another quarterback if I lose Dak. Like I have to get a quarterback back. Why don't you, Michael? Why don't you tell us to end this, and we'll answer any questions here as we close. But tell us what teams are Cowboys fans.
I was gonna say, like, honestly, if these Cowboys fans are willing to kind of go crazy, maybe you can take advantage of CD. Can you somehow tier up to the Jamar Chase? I doubt it, but like, you get what I'm saying. Like, how can we potentially take advantage in that perspective as well?
I like the idea. I just have been teamed by CD all offseason, so I wouldn't.
Yeah, which I'm not saying like we have to. Just wondering what can you potentially get for CD? Like, can you just pivot? Can you pivot to the Justin Jeffersons or the DeMar Chases of the world and get a haul somehow? Malik Neighbors of the world, because that can be amazing, especially if they're willing to overpay you.
Sure.
Let's see what he says.
Yeah. But honestly, once we get that information, let us know if you have any other questions. I think you've pretty much, you've steered the ship in the direction already, and you've taken what's the wheel that,
Jesus take the wheel?
No. If you're on a pirate ship, what's the wheel that steers the ship? What's that called?
Ship wheel?
It's definitely not called a ship wheel. But anyway, the hull, yeah. You've smacked the hole off the boat and it's in its own direction. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Mills, yeah, so we are live today on the Dynasty channel, but we're doing 2 live streams just because the Dynasty team playbooks were just stacking up, so we had to do a Dynasty stream. But we're going to go to the Fantasyland football stream here soon and live stream over there, so definitely come join us. We'll be live there in, 15 minutes now?
Yeah, 15 minutes. I think we're going to do one more team review here and potentially call it for the Dynasty team reviews. But what I'll do is I'll give him the spiel, and then if he does add some stuff, if Michael adds some of those teams' names, we can kind of get that. But you should be
Michael. Sorry, here. Just quickly before you say this, but he might have missed this. Tell us who are the Cowboy fans in your league? What are their team names? Just tell us that information, and then we'll give you some last minute advice here before we go to the next team. You can go into the spiel now.
Yeah, you should be receiving your playbook here within the 48 to 72 hours on the Flock Fantasy Message System, customized with everything that we drew up here for you today. So we appreciate you, Michael. But once again, once you give us that information, we will go ahead and I guess close out your review.
Yes, sir. That's correctamundo, my friend. Can't wait for Jalen Coker to finish as a top 24 wide receiver in fantasy football this year. You ready for that?
Is that what you want?
No, I actually want McMillan to finish top 5. Because I have him in the Flock League, but time will tell. Time will tell. All right, well, I think we're not going to get that info on Dak. But, Michael, I do appreciate you being here, man. And I appreciate you showing some love. Always happy to have a look at your guys' teams and give some feedback. Okay, here we go. Overthinking is a Dak fan, which is perfect because he has Pickens, right? What would you say, Badaki? Because we have McCarthy already, could we turn Dak Prescott into... Okay. I am only saying this because you said everybody wants Dak, and I think the price might be really high. Can we turn Dak Prescott into Devon Achane? As in, we send Dak and Bigsby, or Dak and Arroyo or something. You know what I mean? So, can we send Dak Prescott plus Tank Bigsby? Can we turn that into Devon Achane? Can we turn? Well, actually, the problem is we would want something back. So let me rephrase that. So we want Achane and Darnold there, just to have some other quarterback in the room. So we could send Dak and Kamara is what we would do. That's what we would do. My bad. So Dak and Kamara for Achane and Darnold. I feel good about that. And if you think you can add some, pick swaps on where you get a second and a third, great. All right, so the other one is anxiety or something like that. Let's see. Annexation. Okay. Not anxiety.
The annexation of Puerto Rico. You know where that's from?
Yes, I have heard that. I just can't place it in my mind right now for some reason. But
come on.
I'd be curious if you could get like Justin Fields in a first. Would you do that?
Yeah, 100%.
Right? Like, just kind of give yourself as much leeway there. And again, we're only saying this because of what you mentioned. And then team. Is there a team named Team? Team's a Cowboys fan. Can we just turn Dak into Jordan Love? Can we do that? That'd be great. If not, well, we need to keep a quarterback 3. But could you turn Dak into like... I don't know what, like Rashee Rice or something crazy like that. So, yeah.
Rich.
Those are your options there, but I think you're in a great spot. I definitely liked, your idea of going all in because you're in a great position, even if you don't make any moves right now, to go out and compete. Appreciate you, my friend.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much for the support. And we, once again, We'll get that playbook to you within 48 to 72 hours on the Flock Fantasy message system. All right. I think this is the last one for tonight. We appreciate all the Dynasty team reviews, and you can obviously happy for you to still submit your teams, and we will definitely get them through before the season. Alex, this is a 1 quarterback, 12 teams, start 9.
Appreciate you, Michael.
Thank you, Michael. That is our classic middle grounds there.
You know, you say classic for every starting lineup.
It is, because it is. It's all a classic.
They're all instant classics. I love it.
Yeah. Depth is king. It's just a classic depth is king. Anyways, Murray's Midgets. Gosh, that's probably really bad to say, actually. Need to get over the hump.
Don't act like you don't say that every time you see Kyler Murray on the screen. All right.
I know. I say cockroach. I call him a cockroach. That's a different.
Sure.
No. According to the small people, they actually like to be called little people.
Okay.
Midget is not a term that they like to be called.
Shout out to all the small people. All right. He says, need to get over the hump. Would up squeezing. This has got to say wound up. Wound up squeezing into the playoffs last year, but I don't think my running back room can compete. Currently ranked first in my rankings, Badaki. There's no premium. It's a start 9. It's a PPR. And let's go ahead and let it rip.
A London, Murray, Tyler, good quarterback room for 1 quarterback, Omarion, and then a huge fall off there. Zach Charbonnet, Isaiah Pacheco, Aaron Jones, Tony Pollard, Jordan Mason. Guys, you can definitely start, but the RB2 is, I guess you can definitely figure that out in season. At the wide receiver position, Chase, JSN, Marvin, Smith, Worthy, Ricky, Luther. With Colston, Loveland there. You have 2 first in 2026 and no first in 27. Going straight into some admin stuff. Obviously, you're going to be holding on to Jamar Chase. Holds Tyler Shook, you're going to be holding. You're also going to be holding Woody Marks.
Man. Tyler Shook couldn't even beat out Spencer Rattler. That's crazy.
I mean, I think it was just smart. I think it was 100% smart. Anyways, Kyle Pitts, Woody Marks, Luther Burden are going to be the guys you're going to be holding. And then you can drop Andre Yeshivas and Eric all there. When I think of your draft capital grade, I would say just a B flat. It kind of evens out not having your 7 because you have 2 first and 26. Overall team grade, I don't mind it. I would say this is like a B flat type of team, B minus ish.
Yeah, the starting lineup is probably May, Hampton, let's say Pacheco for now. Chase, JSN, Loveland, I guess. Yeah, so that's 7. That's 6, sorry. And then you can start 9. So Marvin makes it 7. Smith makes it 8. Worthy makes it 9. And you still have, like, Pearsall on the bench, Aaron Jones,
just a
Tony
classic
Pollard,
middle grounds there.
Jordan Mason. That's classic. So I would argue that you probably have enough to compete. I would be wanting to tier up a couple times with this roster.
I agree. So this would put you as a contender, I would say.
What did you say? Did you say B? I would say B plus.
Okay, B plus. I said like B. I said B flat, B minus. So we can do B plus. Okay. And then, I think that's all admin stuff there. But yes, I said contender. Yeah, contender.
All right, let's look at your drafts. I gave you a B flat. I like the additions of Colson, Loveland, Luther, Burden. But outside of that, we can't really guarantee anyone else is going to make an impact. But I do like those 2 players a lot. Now, what we'd like to do is tier up. Now, the players I want to do that with are Devonta Smith. Just thinking about players that I don't want to sell at the wrong time or, too high, too low. Devonta Smith and Pacheco. Devonta Smith and Aaron Jones. Devonta Smith and Tony Pollard. So those combinations, and let me just say now, Pacheco is interchangeable with, who did I say? Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason. Okay, so in any of these trades we're about to say, these names are all interchangeable. Oh, you know what? Someone said I forgot Marion Hampton. That's very fair. You know what? That's actually, we're gonna say A minus then. That's solid. Loveland, Hampton, Burden. Yeah, that's my bad. That's a great draft. I apologize. All right. Okay, so let's see what we can do. And also, you have 3 firsts this year that you could play around with. Probably, let's see, LCSUM. That first is the worst team, so definitely don't use that one. But that team could still make the playoffs. But okay, so let's find someone who needs wide receiver help and would view Devonta Smith as a big upgrade. So how about, I'm not going to say it, Team 2, we'll say it together. They have a wide receiver 3 of Trey Harris. So I wonder,
pussy, really.
I wonder if we can land Kyron Williams and add something onto this deal. So we go to Kyron Williams plus, I don't know, I would say like a second rounder or something.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
That's kind of even there, I would say. You can get Jahmyr Gibbs. But if you wanted Jahmyr Gibbs, what if you added a 26 first to go get Jahmyr Gibbs? I wouldn't
not
hate
yours.
that.
Yeah, not yours. Keep that. Oh, actually,
and not the other guys.
Well, actually, the other guy's first is
the worst team. So you probably would prefer to use your first there.
Your first, yeah. I mean, his team is not terrible though.
No, it's not. All right, let's keep looking. I'm trying to find a good team to trade with for you. How about the guy who has Bucky, Judkins, Swift, Waddle, Flowers? I guess Devonta Smith's not going to be that attractive to him. Let's keep looking. Guy with Olave as wide receiver 3 could definitely work. Same thing as Gibbs if you can do a Bijan deal. He says, the teams whose first I have has CMC, but he's very high on him. Sure.
He's going to regret that.
If CMC stays healthy, he's not going to regret it, but no, none of us can really predict that. RJ Harvey, can you send... See, we're not really tearing up at this point. Let's keep looking. Let's keep looking. Trevor Etienne, is this guy's RB1? My God.
That's crazy.
What the hell?
That's crazy.
Devon Achane would be perfect. So I would say same deal as before, but instead of getting a second back, we just get back Devon Achane. Right? So Pacheco and Smith, that would be great. That would be more than ideal. That's the perfect thing we're trying to accomplish here. Travion Henderson, same thing. And because he's the new hotness, you might have to add a second and get back a third or something. And are there any other names here? No, not really. Yeah, I would say those are your main options to upgrade. But you could also, like I said, you could go all in and go for the Gibbs, the Bijans, the Pukas, or whatever. I don't mind Barkley or CMC, but yeah, I don't know like long term for Dynasty. If it was a redraft league, of course, but long term for Dynasty, I'm not sure if that's the upgrade we want to pursue. He says, if I were able to do CMC, what would that look like? Well, I would not want to give him his first if I could, because that would make his team worse. But if you can send him, this is the thing, like, I'm probably not sending more than Devonta Smith for CMC at this point in Dynasty, you know? And I imagine, based off what you said, he wouldn't agree to that. So
he's probably just wants a first.
Yeah. He asked for Pearsall and Pacheco. Yeah, see, that's just not happening. That's not even close. No, that's just, yeah, that's not happening. I love CMC, but that's not happening. It's not even close. So, yeah.
I completely agree. Alex, man, please put any last minute questions that you have in the chat as we wrap up your team playbook. You should be receiving that within 48 to 72 hours in the Flock Fantasy message system, customized with everything that we drew up here for you today. But this is a great team.
Yeah. And we want to make sure you feel great about the review. So if there's any, like Badaki said, any last minute things, we'd be more than happy to answer those here on today's stream. But yeah, sorry, guys. I'm sorry we haven't had as much Dynasty content. Full transparency, we've just been trying to stay above the water here in Redraft, you know. and that channel is just growing rapidly, so it's just hard. But my goal is to make one Dynasty video per month to begin the year for the season, and then when we get towards November and December, we'll pick back up. And then, as you guys know, in the offseason, we'll always prioritize Dynasty. So he says, good for me. Thanks, guys. Tough spot with that guy. Yeah, I can definitely understand that being a difficult place to be in. But all right, guys, we appreciate you so much. We're going to go jump to the Fantasyland Football channel and go live there in a couple minutes. So we'll see you then. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Love. Put that link in the